happened with AT&T/DirecTV?
So what happened was when the acquisition went through, what I thought would happen, which is given that we're good partners with AT&T, they prioritized discussions with us, and we had several weeks of good discussions and negotiations. At the end of the day, what they wanted from us in order to do a deal was much more than our campuses were comfortable with, and we passed.
Where do things stand moving forward now, as far as that goes?
There's no discussions ongoing, so I'm not anticipating that we will have a deal.
You've said in the past, or at least the sense was that you were optimistic that something. Are you not optimistic anymore?
I'm disappointed, I think, because we have a comprehensive partnership with AT&T, where they're sponsor of all 12 of our schools, plus they're carrying UVer. So I was hopeful that a reasonable deal could be done. So I'm certainly disappointed that wasn't possible. But when we teed up what it would have taken to do a deal, brought it back to our schools, and we just weren't comfortable with it.
Is there any timeline for revisiting it with them?
No specific timeline, so we'll just have to wait and see. We'll look at all our options. Obviously, it was very much with a long-term view that we went into having the network. We're very happy with partners that we have and the service that we're providing, and we'll keep looking to grow it.
Has anything changed with Charter Communications?
No, they are also going through an acquisition mode, acquiring Time Warner. So hopefully, as part of that process, given that we already have a great partnership with Time Warner, hopefully that leads to a deal with Charter as well.
Did your relationship with AT&T sour at all over this, kind of them you walking away from their proposal?
That was a negotiation, and ultimately, we had a deal I was able to bring back to our schools. So I think there's a high degree of disappointment and frustration. I think we all feel, and our campuses feel, and we know our fans will be frustrated, but what they asked for a deal just was, in view of our schools, unreasonable, and couldn't do it.
Were you willing to give up equity to them in the channel?
That was not a consideration at the end.
Were you like way far apart, or close, or how would you describe it?
Well, it's hard to put an adjective around it, except that it was really clear that our schools felt it was far away. It wasn't close.
So do you anticipate then that it's not going to happen in post-football season?
Yeah, I don't see anything changing in the foreseeable future, unfortunately.
Are you surprised that it went this way? Given how optimistic
I'm disappointed, yeah. Disappointed. I would have thought our partnership with AT&T and UVerse and sponsorship side would have meant more. But we've got partnerships with over 70 different companies that pay the same rate, give us a lot of exposure, and I think our schools have a lot of confidence in the model that we have, the service that we're providing, and can't do something dramatically different for one that we're not doing for the 70 other partners.
Is DirecTV overblown in your opinion in terms of its importance to having it as part of your network?
It's important. We'd very much like to have them, but at the end of the day, schools were not willing to compromise their values or the business model of the network just to have one distributor. It's a world that's changing very rapidly as well. I take a long-term view. Our president's chances take a long-term view. The whole model is really evolving, and we believe certainly that having control and ownership will stand us in good stead, given how dynamic the models are. Over the top is coming, direct-to-consumer is coming, streaming is coming. What pace, it's hard to know, but being masters of our own destiny and having the flexibility to adapt to those models, to partner as and when it might make sense, we think will benefit us in the long term. Even if we're frustrated right now. 3 years from now, I think the industry is going to look very different from where it is today.
Still confident in the long-term viability of the Pac-12 network?
Very much so.
Captains for the Cardinal, number 4, Blake Martinez.
Recommend to the CEOs that they accept the deal, or do you
Number
just kind of put
21.
in front of them and let them?
Isaiah Brent Sims.
Well, given the importance of this, I very much felt that if we as management could figure out what terms it would take to do a deal, I had an obligation to bring it to our campuses. But we had a lot of consultation. I had consultation with our president's chancellors before. We had a lot of consultation with athletics directors, others. We knew there would be some concerns about it. But I felt an obligation to bring it to them and let them decide.
Okay, Stanford's a visiting team. They will call it today. Gentlemen, I have a coin here.